Rabotai, it says as follows. He says, Kol kabel dana besorah ra'a lo yishma al piv sharei yomru hamazal. Says over here that what the rabbis teach us sa'ar ba'alei hayim d'oraita. To make animals suffer is the oraita. And I'm talking about animals. Like you have a cat, you have a this, you have a that. One time, I'll give you an example. One time I had in my house in Jersey, my parents' house actually, there was like, we saw a raccoon. We got very scared. Raccoon, where's this raccoon coming from? So we called one of these guys, and the guy put just traps all over the place. And it happens to be, we caught 3 raccoons in the cage. It was the craziest thing. And where did we catch them? 2 hours before Shabbat. Shabbat, let's say, was 7. We caught it by like 4:30. 3 raccoons in the thing. Now what happens? My dad calls me up. What are we going to do? I said, what do you mean? Tza'ar ba'alei hayim is the oraita, right? Tza'ar ba'alei, to make an animal suffer, an animal to suffer is an asum in the Torah. A raccoon is considered an animal. Now, if we let him stay there, we called right away the exterminator. Boom, he came. This, and he said, I can't make it until after the weekend. I'm off. I'm off. I'm away. Vacation. This, that. I'll be back Monday morning. Now, what do you do? What do you do? You're gonna let the raccoon stay there from Friday night, Shabbat day, Sunday in that little cramped, it was like a small, tiny cage. You know what I'm talking about, those cages? It's a tiny cage where the guy can't move like this. And you hear him trying to pull out. He can't. What do you do? What do you say, Mike? And now, what do you say?
Guess you got to take him out yourself.
Who's scared? Everybody's scared, right? What are you going to do? Let him out? The whole point was to take him. What do? They take the raccoon and they throw him in the forest. So really what? Go an hour away and get him into the forest. I remember I was speaking to Poskim, this posik, that posik, what should we do? This. At the end of the day, it wasn't pashut at all. We had to go ahead, we had to do something really about it. And we called a few Spanish guys. We saw a few Spanish guys. We, of course, everything was in the cage. We told him, hold it, this. We went to, we drove out maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we let the raccoons out in a forest. True story. Yeah. Tza'ar is the oraita. He even says, sipru ma'aseh bizman ha'arizal. They bring a story in the times of the Arizal. Be'echad shenenash b'mitat banim. His children, somebody's children died in the times of the Arizal. Al tzad efrochim ktanim. Sheyalem salla alot b'mala achar iman ve'ishto. He says, Gam belidat otzi asal v'nenash. He says there was one time in the times of the Arizal where they had a bucket, and this bucket was there, right? Was staying there, and little birds would be able to jump on the bucket, from the bucket, jump where the mother was. So every day they were very, very happy. Oh, look, we have the bucket. They would jump on the bucket, go to the mother. Jump on the bucket, go to the mother. One time, they took away the bucket. And the little ducklings, they couldn't jump on top of the bucket. And because of that, he said, that's why heaven forbid, his sons got punished. Because he had the tza'ar ba'alei hayim. You have to be very, very careful with tza'ar ba'alei hayim. Yeah, you can't play games there. Insects is different. He's asking me about insects, cockroaches and ants and I don't know. Insects is different. It's not Baal Hai. Baal Hai is like a rodent, like a mouse, like a rodent. These are insects. Cockroach, a spider, this or that. but these are insects. You have Baal Hai, which is the animals. You know, you have a bird, you have a cat, you have a dog, you have a this, you have that. You can't give them tza'ar. You got to be careful not to give them. You can't give them pain. You understand? Yeah, you can't give them pain. That's why people say, right? People think, oh, I'm the dog. All of a sudden, the guy. Be careful. You can't give pain. Yeah, all right. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why. One second. That's why it says that Yishma Chacham Yosef Lekach Lekayem Tzavaat Rabbi Yehuda Hasid. What did he say, Rabbi Hasid? He wrote a will. His last one of the testimonies that he wrote was, in his time, people were like having pets. As what was the pet? The birdies, the little birds, the chicklets. He says don't raise them at all, because that when you raise them, you're going into problems of tzar b'alei hayim. You ready to take the chance? There's no mitzvah to go ahead and raise chicklets, these little small birds. So back in the day, people were raising them. He said, "What are you doing? You know, there's no mitzvah to do it. Now you're putting yourself in a situation where you can have big tzad, and then you get punished because why? Because you're giving them tzad, heaven forbid. Let's say you don't feed them on time. You're giving them tzad. They get fed every day 2 o'clock. All of a sudden, what happens? That day, the guy is late. He's in work. He slept over. You're giving them tzad. It's not a joke. You're really having a responsibility. Because he says impossible not to give them tzad. He says most people that raising these animals, for sure something's going to happen to them. Therefore, be very, very careful. Yeah? Okay, Rabotai.